Good morning everyone. I'm in one of my favourite little places, Great Ouseburn, north of York, and I'm doing a fairly flat ride today. As my cycle coach said, I need to do what they call a long and low ride, just a bit longer than usual and not too hilly, and this I think fits the bill perfectly. Great Ouseburn is where Anne Brontë lived for a while. She lived in the stately home, which is part of it is over there, and she painted a picture of the local church as well. Her brother Bramwell came to stay with her, and unfortunately he got a bit too amorous with the lady of the house, lady of the manor, and the pair had to leave quickly, Anne and her brother Bramwell. So it does have Brontë connections. It must have been a bit of a shock after Brontë Country, which is in the Pennines and really hilly, to come here. This part of the Vale of York is quite flat. It's supposed to be quite sunny today. It's late October. Autumn is setting quite well. Bit of a nip in the air. I've got a merino base layer on underneath one of my winter cycling tops, and I've got my winter cycling socks on. I've still got the summer mitts. Kind of gradually change over to the winter stuff. And my bike will need a good clean soon. It's covered in mud, and I need to put on the mud guards ready for winter. Oh, and change the tyres to winter tyres. Hello. So quite a bit of housekeeping rather than maintenance, I think, housekeeping work to do on the bike at some point soon. Because the road is quite wet and muddy because it was all rainy and misty murky yesterday, typical October. I've got also got a thingy around my neck which I can pull up to cover my ears if I need to, if it gets too chilly on the old ears. Right, where am I heading? Where am I heading? I'm heading to the little toll bridge at I'm heading towards the little toll bridge at Aldwark, which was completely refurbished a couple of years ago. It's now less sort of clunky than it was. Still only 40p to cross for cars. Bicycles are free. And it crosses Well, it's about roundabout where the river Yore joins the river Ouse. Round here you've got the Swale, you've got the Yore, we've got the Ouse. The Ouse is what the Yore becomes before it goes through York, and York is sort of on my right down there. This is the little toll booth coming up, and the man who collects the tolls. Oops. Good morning. Such a sweet little bridge, this. Single file, of course. The wooden slats are much less clunky than they used to be. And now we're going to head off through towards Linton-on-Ouse, where there was, I don't think it's used anymore, RAF Linton-on-Ouse. So we're heading there, and after that we'll go through the grounds of Beningbrough Hall, which is a National Trust property. So we're turning right here. It's part of the Way of the Roses cycle route, as you can see. We've got the red and the white roses, red being for Lancashire, because the Way of the Roses begins in Morecambe on the Lancashire coast, and it ends at Bridlington on the East Yorkshire coast. So this will be one of the easygoing parts of the Way of the Roses cycle route. So like I said, we go through the grounds of Beningbrough Hall, and then shortly after leaving we head towards the village of Shipton-by-Beningbrough, where we cross the A19 in the middle of the village, and we head east for a while before turning left up what begins as a very nice little quiet lane, and then about halfway along it the surface becomes sort of rocky and off-road and a bit like a track, but usually it's not that bad. And then after that we take a few lanes and go through Easingwold again. Easingwold, been there a lot on my cycle ride videos. And then from Easingwold we head on a fairly easygoing section towards the little village of Alne. We go past the Alne Cross, which is to do with when the village had the plague. I think it was later than the plague in Eyam in Derbyshire and the 1665 plague in London. But as with Eyam in Derbyshire, they had this system, the villagers, where they'd leave money at the cross in some sort of 16th century disinfectant, sorry, 17th century, get my history right, 17th century disinfectant. I don't know what that was, probably salt, don't know. And anyway, they'd leave the money there, and people from other villages or farms would leave the food, take the money. It was a radical solution which was followed in the village of Eam in Derbyshire, when no one was allowed in or out of the village, in a very courageous act to prevent the plague from spreading to other villages. As far as I know, it didn't spread to other villages, but an awful lot of people, including the vicar's wife, died of the plague in the village of Eam. Then after we've been past Alne Cross, we'll head through the little village of Aldwark and back across the toll bridge that we just come across and back to Great Ouseburn, but we'll go via Great Ouseburn church, which is not the same church as the one Anne Brontë painted. That was the church in Little Ouseburn that she painted. So there you go, bit of history. Actually, I wasn't going to come on this cycle ride today. I was planning to go further afield, but in the end I decided not to. I was planning to go into Lincolnshire, so maybe I will at some point, North Lincolnshire, but it's a drive of about 60 miles, so it's quite a long way. I have cycled in Lincolnshire. I spent a week as we were getting over the pandemic and people could get out and about again. I spent a week in autumn near the town of Louth in Lincolnshire, not too far from Market Raisin. Or the Lincolnshire Wolds, and I cycled around there a bit. But I have to say, maybe I'm biased because I'm from Yorkshire, but the Yorkshire Wolds far superior to the Lincolnshire Wolds. Weird apologies to anyone from Lincolnshire who's watching this. Or should I just say very different? Very different. And of course you get a lot of flat cycling down that way. So we'll soon be coming up to Linton-on-Ouse. I think that's what remains of RAF, Linton-on-Ouse over there. There was talk of turning it into a centre for migrants, but I don't know what happens about that. I don't think it was very popular with the locals. It's the old runways and things, and the lights. We're just coming into Linton-on-Ouse. I had my first flat tyre here, not on this bike, on one of its predecessors. You always remember where you had flat tyres. Supposed to be cycling a bit faster today than usual, so it's not really just a leisurely flat ride, it's more you get something out of it. So it explains my cycle coach. Definitely a bit muddy. Makes you wonder if there's any point cleaning your bike, really. I might just give it a lick and a polish, as my mum used to say. Talking about my mum, haven't talked about her for a few videos, have I? We're moving her into her new care home number 3 on Tuesday. It's an amazing place. It's just opened, it's just been built, and it's in the area where she lived all her married life and where we were brought up. So it should be familiar to her. And fingers crossed, she'll be happy there. We've given up unpacking all her belongings, which the minute we unpack them in her existing care home, she just packs them again, waiting to move. And she's been doing that for, oh gosh, when did she move in? About, let me see, May, I think. So that's about 6 months that she's been packing her stuff up, all piled high. And she's getting very frail now, very frail. She'll be 98 in May 2025, if she lives that long. And she is getting into that stage of dementia where she's starting to not recognise us. She asked my sister last week, or was it earlier this week, how do I know you? How do I know you? And last week, I think it was last week, she was wondering if I was her sister or niece. She doesn't have a sister, never did. We're just coming into Newton-on-Ouse, which is always lovely in autumn, and it takes us into the grounds of Beningbrough Hall. My mum used to love Beningbrough. She liked looking at the water lilies on the pond. We turn off here, kind of going straight ahead. I can smell breakfast being cooked. Oh yeah. Two pubs in this village. One back there, and then this Blacksmith's Arms here. Hello. Looks like it's going to be a wedding on. Well, there has been a wedding. Someone all dressed up back there. The tailcoat. So this is one of the entrances to Beningbrough Hall. The cycle route splits here. You can either go around the grounds, like outside of them, or you can go into the grounds, and then it joins up at the other end. Look at these trees. Autumn. I'm going away soon, in November, believe it or not. Back down to the southwest, not Dartmoor. And I'll probably be walking, not cycling. I took my bike last November and I just walked because it was too muddy and steep and not great for cycling in that particular neck of the woods. You can see the hall of Beningbrough Hall coming up ahead. Much of Beningbrough Hall is more of a sort of art gallery than your typical National Trust stately home with all the furnishings. We'll just cycle down to the front of it so you can see it. It gets really busy in the summer, as you can imagine. Cars parked all along here. This is the back of it, back of the hall. It's got nice gardens. So you get the hall and you get the little blocks at either side. The car park's down there. There's a little cafe down here. I think there's a farm shop too. Privately owned, not owned by the National Trust. Last time we went, we got beset by wasps everywhere. It was awful, like a swarm of wasps. It's horrible. I don't know if it's open today. There's another gatehouse entrance to Beningbrough here. There's also a speed bump. Need to be careful. And this is where we join the route that bypassed the hall. Would have come down there and joining us here. "9 miles from the centre of York." You can cycle into the centre of York on the Way of the Roses cycle route, because it goes right through the middle of York. And one day I'll do that, I'll video it, maybe near Christmas. I think that would be nice, wouldn't it? All the decorations and stuff. Okay. When I get back from the southwest. Oh no, hedge cutting, cyclist nightmare. Have to be very careful. They've cut the ones on the left, and hopefully they seem to have cleared that up. Some more hawthorn clippings here. Dodging them, I hope. I do not want to have to replace the inner tube, especially on the back tyres, which are a pain. Must be in the old station. This is Shipton-by-Beningbrough. Here's the A19. So we'll be going right before the church. And this care home here on the left is probably the old vicarage. They were always massive back in the day, jam-packed with children and servants. When we got married, before we got married, we went to see the local vicar about the arrangements, and he'd moved out of one of them huge, massive vicarages into a tiny little 1960s sort of maisonette thing. Not quite as grand, but I imagine it was a lot cheaper to maintain. So we just carry on along here until we get to the lane that eventually becomes a track, where we will turn left. See if I can get a bit more speed up along here. Here we turn off here, left. It says it's a no-through road, but that's because of the off-road bit where it's not really surfaced. Further on, a bit bumpy and probably muddy, but because of that it's quite quiet. I'm overtaking you. Hello. Bit muddier here. Yuck. Definitely need the mud guards on next time I come out. Mud and puddles and yuckiness. And this isn't even the track. That comes after, sometime after a cattle grid that we cross. Just crossed one cattle grid. I think there's another one before we get to the track. It's a strange track because part of it has been tarmacked, but the other part hasn't, like in the middle. Yeah, I think we've got another cattle grid here, and then before too long it turns into that track. And it emerges at the village of Huby. Track coming up. Try and dodge the potholes and the puddles. And keep pedalling to try and avoid slipping. Very bumpy. I don't think there's much point in having a speed bump there. It'd be crazy to go speeding along here. This bit's a little bit better though. Beautiful autumn colours over there. Gorgeous. That's what I'm going in search of when I go to the southwest. Beautiful autumn woodlands. Beechwoods, they have a lot of beechwoods down there. This is the bit in the middle now that is tarmac, which is really weird because it stops again short of Huby. Oh, look at all this veg. Is it spring greens? I don't know. Carrots? No, it's got to be spring greens, surely. Whatever it is, fancy something like that with my tea tonight. We once walked along the edge of a field in the Yorkshire Wolds where they'd harvested all the little green beans, I think it was, and French beans, and there was a load left, so we went gleaning and filled a couple of small bags. My husband grows them now, but this year's not been a good year for growing stuff, apart from in the greenhouse with the usual tomatoes, but it's been bad for strawberries, green beans, courgettes. Might be because of all the storms over the winter, maybe. Cucumbers in the greenhouse. We've had millions of cucumbers. In fact, the greenhouse has been quite successful. See, now we're back on the track again. After that short interlude of tarmac. Coming to the end of the track up here. So it's not been bad, not bad at all. These crazy speed bumps. Maybe they're to stop people on motorbikes, especially motocross bikes. So we're going to be emerging at the village of Huby, and from Huby we'll be heading towards Easingwold. We'll enter Easingwold at a different place from the other rides, different direction. Right. Oh. So here we are at Huby. Hello. Hello. Oh, fish and chips. Oh. Yum yum. Homemade jam for sale. Thing is, I never carry any cash, and there's nowhere to put it on a bike. I don't even carry cash in my handbag. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, I don't know how I did forget, but I did, that I'm now officially an old age pensioner. My 66th birthday has passed. I've got my bus pass. And in a couple of weeks I'll get the pension in my bank account. I qualified for it last weekend. So I'm officially old. very old. Like those road signs you see of two old people with walking sticks all hunched up. Hello. So I think now I'm officially an OAP. I can mothball my business website and close it down, really. Or I'll wait till I need to renew the domain name. I think I've got another year on that, but I will be properly retired then. Apart from there's a couple of jobs I still like doing. Got a couple of clients who are really nice, really easygoing, and I just get very occasional work from them, and that suits me fine. Although of course I'll be taxed now I'm getting the pension. Now we go left here to get off the road for a bit of variation, just a little bit of variation, not off-road, it's on a lane, but as you can see quite a muddy lane with lots of beech leaves. I think I retired at just about the right time, really, because my kind of business was dying a death anyway, because it's being taken over by AI. You can get an AI to write you a pretty competent website these days. You don't need a copywriter like me to do it. Same happened with other contemporaries who were in jobs that are now obsolete, like typesetting and some forms of printing. Printing in the UK especially. I don't think anyone designs stuff on paper anymore. It's all on computer. Back in the day, this would be, when would it be? The second half of the 1980s. When I began as a copywriter. My second copywriting job, I insisted on having a computer to help me write, because it's, you know, why write in pencil and keep rubbing it out and stuff when you can do it on a computer and you don't have to get anyone to type it up for you. And everyone thought, oh, that's really, really avant-garde, state of the art, she's weird, she wants a computer, weird. And everyone thought it was odd. But because I used to be a secretary before that, I had fast typing skills, so I knew my way around the basic computers of the day, more sort of word processors, so writing on paper with a pencil was sort of going backwards, really. And after that I wrote all my stuff on computers. And guess what? Now everybody does. Well, computers write it themselves, don't they, with the AI? So I think I retired at pretty much exactly the right time. I built my business during the heyday of copywriting and advertising. Served a purpose at the time. Took my mum along to the new care home to meet all the staff and have a cup of tea and a slice of cake on Thursday. She won't remember she went though, but it is an amazing place, and it costs just the same as where she is at the moment. And they spoiled her rotten, which is wonderful to see, and they've got their own hair salon. She's going to have her hair done, because where she is, they just haven't bothered. She hasn't had her hair washed or styled for weeks and weeks, maybe even months. And the various other things she needs doing, which were neglected where she is. And she's got a lovely room overlooking a park. Beautiful. Oh, this is the road into Easingwold. One of the rides we cycled up from Easingwold to Crake, if you remember, and that's Crake straight ahead there with its castle. This is the Stillingfleet road into Easingwold. It runs parallel to the road to Crake up there. It is a bit busier than that road. I don't often come on this road, but I thought I would today. Not Stillingfleet. Stillingfleet is on the River Ouse, where we went and had a look at that Viking door on one of my videos. It's not Stillingfleet. 3/4 miles to Easingwold. We go left at the mini roundabout to Alne. We fork left here. This road is relatively easygoing. We go over the A19 and then we go over the railway. Before we get to Alne. About to cross the A19. Railway. We're just about to cross it up here at Alne Station, the old station for Alne, which is a little bit of a distance away from the village itself. It's really hard trying to spot where you are when you're on the train along here and which bridge is which. It looks completely different, as you would imagine. And I've cycled over so many of them over the years. Hello. And last time I was here on the train was, of course, in March, the week before Easter, when I did the 14-hour train journey from Aberdeen to Penzance in one go, and I videoed it. Just outside Alne, we'll go and have a look at the Plague Cross, as explained earlier. Hi there. There's also a roadside fruit and veg stall just along here. It's always here. There it is, a little barrow. But as I said, I haven't got any cash. So, right, 3 miles to Aldwark Bridge. We're going to go slightly long way around through Aldwark village because it's prettier. But up here at the crossroads is the Plague Cross. So it's quite a way for the villagers to come on foot unless they came on horseback. So we're going to look at the Plague Cross, which we looked at in another video a while ago, but we'll look at it again. Not exactly a cross at the moment, but this stone is one of several erected during the plague of the 17th century. Here the country people brought their market produce to avoid taking it into the plague-infected town, and money was left there in that trough. So there you go. Oh, in loving memory of Mum and Dad. So sweet. It took a friend of mine ages to get permission from, it was Sheffield Council, to erect a bench in memory of her brother in a park where he loved to sit and just watch the world go by. But in the end she managed to get permission. Right, now we're heading to Aldwark. Bike's a bit cranky, I don't know whether it's some mud stuck on the chain. So maybe I will give it a good clean tomorrow.
You alright?
Hi there. It won't move onto the big chain ring. There's definitely something wrong with the gears. Thankfully we don't have far to go, and at least it's running. It means another trip out by my bike mechanic, probably, but it might just be mud. We're just coming into Aldwark village, which will take us to the rickety bridge again, the toll bridge, which isn't as rickety as it used to be since it was refurbished. Aldwark. Is it Aldwark or Aldwark? Which sounds very Yorkshire, doesn't it? Wark. Sweet little church, which is definitely Victorian, I would have thought. Aldwark Manor, which is a hotel now. We go right here towards the toll bridge. So we're crossing the River Yore, where it joins the Ouse, where it becomes the Ouse. It's one and the same at this point, kind of, approximately here, or further down there towards Beningbrough. Oops, I'll just pass you, thank you. This lane takes us to the church, takes us round the back of it. Great Ouseburn Church. It's a churchyard. This is the main street in Great Ouseburn. We turn left and my car's parked somewhere down here. So, as we approach the church, say thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and do watch my other videos, won't you? Check out my playlists, because I've got a whole load of different playlists. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you next time.